Hi everyone, I'm Robin and I'm a virtual business development consultant from the island of Bermuda. In this segment of our virtual business development series, we're going to be talking about using Canva, which is a great online tool for upping your marketing and branding, and it's going to help you look a lot more professional, particularly if you are a small business or a one-man show. And the best part about Canva is, at least initially, to use all the basic tools, it's free. So if you are a complete design beginner, this is a great segment for you. When you first arrive at canva.com, of course, if you don't already have a free account, you're going to have to sign up for one, and you'll find a login button in the upper right-hand corner. It just takes a moment to register. And once you've registered for your free account, you will arrive at a homepage that looks pretty much like this. As you can see, Canva has a dizzying number of features, and it might be a little intimidating, and you'd be asking yourself, well, where do I start? Just look across the toolbar at the top here. You see Home, Templates, Features, Learn, and Pricing. As I said initially, Canva is free, and there's lots of tools that you can use for no charge whatsoever. Once you've familiarized yourself with the site and how to do some simple design work, I highly recommend getting the Pro account. It's not very expensive, and you unlock access to a huge number of additional features, which I've found to be very beneficial. So, how do we get started in the first place? Well, click on the templates bar, and you will see that you bring up a submenu which has all kinds of social media options. It has options for designing personal things like invitations for weddings or parties or events. There are business features. You can design an entire PowerPoint presentation here. You can do website design. You can do logos. You can do marketing flyers. You can do infographics. You can do Instagram posts. Really, the sky's the limit. For this tutorial, let's take a look at YouTube channel art. So when you click on the YouTube channel art tab, you arrive at this menu, and you will find that there's a huge number of templates that have already been designed for you, and you can literally scroll through them. And if you don't have a lot of branding and design in place already, you can just choose the one that appeals to you or you think would appeal to your customers, and or has something to do with the YouTube that you're making, and just click on that and we'll start editing. So for this tutorial, I think we're going to choose this one right here. How to create a creative mind. Now we are going to be making a thumbnail for our YouTube video. So this is a good choice because it has a blank space on the left where you can type some words and choose a suitable color. And it has some space on the right where you can put in a suitable photo. So to get started, all we have to do is click on Customize this template. Now here's the great thing, because we clicked on a YouTube template, it's already the correct size and resolution so that it will display correctly and clearly on your YouTube channel. There's lots of things that we can change about this template. Every time I mouse over something, you'll see a turquoise bar light up the feature, and that shows you that is something that we can edit or change entirely. So starting at the top, if we want to, we can actually change the background color. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not really a teal person, so let's choose a blue color. Now that's looking better to me already. And we want to make a thumbnail for a YouTube that is entitled Sunf's Great Adventure. So we highlight this box right here. And then you'll see across the top, it tells us what font that is. And there's tons of choices if we scroll up and down. It tells us what size that font is. It tells us what color that font is. Now, that's a nice bold font, but I'd like to do something that's a little bit more unique. So I'm going to click on this one here called Oswald. And all of a sudden, you can see it's a completely different font. And now I'd like it to be a little bit bigger. So there's two ways you can do that. You can just click the plus sign here, or you can mouse over it and go, I know what size I like. I'm going to type in 120 and hit enter. And you can see all of a sudden your font is much bigger. To change the words, you highlight it again and you just start typing. So to change the subheading here, we highlight it. And I think I'm going to say that it's a dog's life. Now, one of the other things I can do is I can also add in a cute character or photo. If I click on the Elements tab, which you'll find in the very left-hand corner, all of a sudden you'll see all sorts of images and shapes and lines and graphics will come up. So first thing you do, click on the Graphics tab and then type the word dog. All of a sudden, you'll see all kinds of images and shapes that represent dogs, and parts of dogs will come up. So I think that this paw print here is really cute. Now you'll notice when I mouse over it, it says it's a pro feature. So for this tutorial, we have to find one that's free. So this one here, as you can see, it doesn't say pro, so it's free. So we can use that one. And I click and it shows up right in the middle of the screen. And it also shows up too big and the wrong color. But we can fix these things very easily. Let's start with the color. Right now you can see it's highlighted by a turquoise box. That's how you know this is the element of your design that you're editing. And when you look up here, you can see the mint color. If we click there, now we can change this to any old color we like. And I'd like it to be white. So I'm going to click white, and all of a sudden it is. Now I think the brown outlines of the paws is just fine. It's too big though. So if I put my mouse over one of the corners of the box, and it doesn't really matter which one that I pick, you'll see this little diagonal arrow show up. And if I hold my mouse down over top of it, you'll see that just by moving my mouse, I can make this as big or as small as I like. So that looks to be about the right size to me. Now all I have to do is get it into the right place on my design. It's still highlighted. You can see there's a turquoise box around it. If you've clicked somewhere else on the screen, you'll see now the turquoise box is gone. But as soon as I put my mouse over top of it, it returns. Click once, and now that's the feature we're editing. You see this little circle with a cross in it. That is for moving the object around. So I push down and I push up, and all of a sudden it's up to the top of the screen, and you'll see some very faint purple guidelines have shown up to help me get that centered and in the right place. And now that it's up here, I can also see maybe it's still a teeny bit too big. So we can make it a little bit smaller, and we can move it a little bit closer. So our video is not by Jack Olson. It happens to be by Olderhood. So I'm going to put the Olderhood group. But that's not a very professional looking font, is it? So what do? We highlight the font, and you can see that font happens to be called School Bell. But we would like something that looks a little bit more professional. So let's just try this one right here. That looks a little bit better, but it doesn't seem to be quite in the center. So I'm going to click on it. And when I clicked on it, look what happened. Now, if I was to move this around, what I am editing is the white part in the back. So don't let that worry you. Just click on it again. So now you've got the smaller bit. And now you go down to the circle with the X on it. And you can move your words down a little bit. Okay. So no thumbnail for YouTube about my dog Sunny would be complete without just that, a picture of my dog Sunny. Over in the left-hand column, you can see that there is a button for uploads. And if you click on that, you'll see that you can upload a picture of anything that you want from your computer. So I happen to have a picture of my dog Sunny right here. And if I click on it, it'll show up in the center of the screen. If I click on the picture that is already existing, and then I drag the picture across, all of a sudden you see Sunny shows up in the place where the picture of the lady was. Now, we're not going to stop there. There's lots of small things that we can do to improve this. The first of which is we click on it once, and all of a sudden there's a toolbar here with some brand new options we might not have noticed before, and one of them says crop. So making sure that there's a turquoise line highlighting the image we want to work on, we click the crop button once. And all of a sudden you will see that we can slide the photo back and forth inside the little window. So I think it would look better right about there. And then we click done. And you'll see, oh, we weren't quite perfect. Now there's a couple of ways we can resolve that. We can go back to crop, or we can drag the corner and move things around, and then all of a sudden, there we go. We can also move Sunny up a little bit. Well, it's looking pretty good. Now, I don't know about you. This is a really cute photo, but I don't know that the coloring is the best. So we're going to click on the image one more time, and this time we're going to go to Edit Image. And you will see that we can change the brightness. See that? So we're going to make it a little bit brighter. Then we're going to change the contrast. And we can also change the saturation, and you can see now his face is quite bright and lively. I like how that looks, but now it seems that the font might even be a little bit pale or wishy-washy. So let's go back up here to where we can change the text color. And you'll see initially it just shows you a few options. Now there's two things you can do. You can scroll to the bottom and just pick one of these pre-selected colors, for example, pink. I don't think that's what we're going for here today though. Or right at the very top, there is a square with a plus sign. If we click there, we can pick any color in the rainbow. To start on the rainbow bar down here, just click wherever you think you're close to the color that you would like. If we wanted turquoise, maybe here. If we wanted lime green, maybe here, but it's sunny, so let's have a nice bright sunny yellow color. And there we are. Now we're almost done. but I think I'd like to make the font bigger. Now I can highlight it again and go back and change it up here, or you'll notice that if I put my mouse over one of the corners of the box and the diagonal arrow comes up, we can change the size of the font just by dragging the box. I think that looks pretty good, but maybe I would like to move it up just a tiny bit. There we go. And maybe I would like to put my subheading in bold, so I can highlight the text I want to bold and then click the B for bold. One more time, we're double checking the placement of everything. And I think that looks pretty cute. Now, when it comes to downloading your image, of course, you have options. The very first thing, though, that I realized was, at the moment, your file has the name that the template originally had. And if you're up here in this bar that starts up being turquoise on the left and purple on the right, you'll see that there's a great long label for the file, which maybe isn't going to be the best label for you in your computer once you've made several of these for several different videos. So in this case, I'm going to call this Sunny YT for YouTube, and then a number 1, because that's a code that makes sense to me. Really good idea to change these up front, because next week, if you go to try and find this image in your computer and it has some great long name, believe me, I've wasted more than a little time hunting for things because I didn't know what the file was called. So just make sure you change it to something meaningful for you right from the start. And now when you go to download, you will see that you have choices. If in doubt, choose PNG. PNG is a high quality image that's going to display well in just about all circumstances. Don't choose PDF, because PDF, and you will find that won't work on YouTube. And then once you've chosen the type of file you want to download, just double check that the size is right for you. And of course, this is the right size for YouTube. And then you would hit download. So a couple of more features before we go. One of the other things that you can do is you can decide which way you would like this photo to be oriented, simply by highlighting it once to get the turquoise box and clicking the little button that says flip. We're asked, do we want to flip horizontally or vertically? Well, in Sunny's case, it would be horizontally. And as you can see, he's now facing in the other direction, but I liked it better the other way. So up here, you'll find there is an undo button, and that easily he's back where he was. Now, supposing you wanted to have a picture of somebody else's Yorkshire Terrier in your video. Well, as you can see, there's thousands of photos, and we can just type Yorkie, because Sunny is a Yorkie. You could type dog, whatever you wanted to do. And you can see that there's all kinds of pictures. This one here says Pro, so if you have the free account, you wouldn't be able to use that one. This one here, though, doesn't have any marking, which means you'd be free to use that one. And this one here doesn't have any marking, so that's about the right size and shape. So if we come up here, all of a sudden you see that quickly and that easily we've changed the image. And all we have to do is a little bit of centering. and we're good to go. And that quickly, you have a completely different thumbnail to use. So if you were doing a series of videos and you wanted unique thumbnails for all of them, you could make several in a row as long as you had organized yourself beforehand and you knew exactly what you wanted to say on each of the videos. So I hope you have found this brief tutorial helpful. There's a ton of wonderful things that you can do with Canva to expand and improve the quality of your business. As I've mentioned, there's even more features available with a pro account. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be interested in me doing a separate tutorial on using some of the pro features. Also, I mentioned that it's quite possible to use Canva for PowerPoint presentations. You can even create little videos or annual reports. So let me know if those are things that you'd like to learn how to do, and I'd be happy to help you out. Also, if you're just watching this video for the first time and you haven't seen the rest of the series, be sure to check it out. We talk about all kinds of things from looking and sounding better in video business meetings to solving audio issues and even how to use green screen. So until next time, take care, everyone.